In the previous video, Benefits of Making a Summary, we have explained why summaries are worth writing. We have also noted that you can get the benefits only if the work has been done correctly. So let us have a look at the correct algorithm. Writing a summary consists of 8 steps. Step number 1. To choose a book of high instrumental value or a book with lots of useful fragments called source material. There are a few books that are worth doing a summary of. I do not recommend you choose popular non-fiction books because you can usually extract only 1 or 2 pages of the source material. A much better alternative is classical works. Books like The Laws of Imitation by Gabriel Tarde or The Advancement of Learning by Francis Bacon are beautiful examples of such books with dozens of pieces of the source material. Step number 2. Highlighting the book. After choosing a suitable source, you have to mark it up in order to highlight fragments of the source material. Let's quickly remember what it is. The source material is a fragment of uncommon information that could be understood apart from the whole text and can solve a particular problem. Watch the videos by the links in the description for more details. Step number 3. Establishing a task or a problem. It will help you if you always remember that any summary is written for a reader with a particular task, and summaries are tools that are helpful to solve the task. A typical mistake is to establish an abstract problem like an aesthetic turn in the philosophy of the 20th century. It's not a practical problem that people are eager to overcome through some activity. Good examples of practical tasks are to convince the audience in a public speech or to develop an ideal technical specification. We clearly understand that the first task is the one for public speakers and lecturers, and the second one for system analytics. Step number 4. Writing thesis. Here you have to analyze each extracted fragment and find out how they can help in solving the problem. Theses are recommendations for the reader on what to do or what not while trying to handle the problem. An example of a lucid thesis is the following. You need to be persuasive to convince an audience, and not telling anything about how one can actually be persuasive. Let's have a look at the example of a good thesis. If people are stunned with impressions, they become more suggestible. So when people happen to be in a completely new environment, they become very dependent on the opinions of people around them. This thesis comes from the above-mentioned Laws of Imitation by Gabriel Tarde. Step number 5. Structuring thesis. This is the crucial step at which fragments and theses are grouped and arranged into a structure. Why is it so important? Because the structure defines the reader's viewpoint of the problem. In many ways, solving the task depends on your approach, and a good structure helps to follow the right direction. In comparison, a poor structure gives just a description for the phenomena. For example, if we underline types of speakers such as impulsive, reflexive, etc., it doesn't help to perform well as a public speaker. So what is the best way to arrange the material in public speaking? Watch again the task-centered approach video and you will easily find the answer. A good structure should be functional and task-centered. For example, we can identify speakers' tasks as to attract their attention, keep listening, demonstrate confidence, arouse audience interest in the topic of the speech, etc. Step number 6. Writing paragraphs. Now you can start writing paragraphs to back up and develop your thesis. The main idea is to make everything clear and easy to apply for the reader. A good practice is to ask a high school student to read the text and point out what is unclear. Typical mistakes to avoid here are a lot of vague terms or professional slang on the one side, and lots of emotions or subjective assessments on the other side. Step 7. Text layout. A lovely summary layout saves readers time and allows them not to waste time reading plain text or searching for the right place in the document. It includes emphasizing the headings, bolding key sentences, visually separating your text from the source material. As a result, we get a 4-layer structure of the summary. So layer 1 is the headings, layer 2 is the thesis, layer 3 is the paragraphs with details, and layer 4 is the fragments of the original text. If readers need more details, they move to the next layer. That's it. And it goes without saying that correct references are a must. Step number 8, further studies. You can improve any summary by adding modern examples, illustrating the application of your thesis. For instance, by adding examples from cutting-edge physics to show laws of induction by Herschel or John Stuart Mill developed in the 19th century. Another way to improve your summary is to make an appendix with exercises or cases, because as you know, the best way to learn is to practice. Yet another improvement is a list of open problems and further research topics. As I said in the previous video, an explicit statement of the problems and research topics is essential for developing any field of knowledge. An example of summary made by this algorithm and according to these principles you can find by the link in the description. It's a summary of Gabriel Tard's laws of imitation that has been done concerning PR applications. If you have done a summary and want some feedback, feel free to contact me or just leave a comment below. I guarantee a review of any sent materials. That's all for today. See you in the next video. Thanks.